The James Webb Space Telescope (JWST) was created to peer into the earliest moments of the universe's history, to capture the light of galaxies that formed billions of years ago. However, during a standard deep field survey intended to map ancient cosmic structures, something entirely unexpected appeared. Amidst the steady tapestry of distant stars, a subtle motion was detected. At first, it seemed like visual static, a faint blur amidst the vast stillness. But as analysts increased the contrast and tracked its progression across frames, a discernible pattern took shape. The object wasn't a glitch. It moved with consistency slowly, intentionally across the starfield. It didn't behave like orbital debris. It wasn't spinning or erratic. Its shape was unnervingly familiar, symmetrical, upright, two arms, to legs a humanoid form adrift in the middle of nowhere. It reflected no light, emitted no propulsion, and had no discernible source. Yet, most unsettling of all, it didn't obscure the stars behind it. The silhouette simply glided through the starfield, as though it were a shadow that cast none. Scientists immediately sought rational explanations. Camera artifacts were ruled out. Dust wouldn't hold such a defined shape. That left one chilling possibility. Had the Webb telescope just captured something or someone watching from the dark? This wasn't a planned observation. The silhouette was simply there. And now, so are the questions. An extreme close-up from Webb's infrared camera provided a sharper look. A dark, humanoid outline was visible drifting through a background riddled with stars, not a galaxy, not image noise, but a clearly defined shape. It seemed deliberate, enigmatic, then the interface blinked. The deep field zoom detected an anomaly. It felt like a scene pulled from the Twilight Zone, abrupt and disquieting. The video paused, holding its breath. Then the figure shifted ever so slightly, and that small movement transformed everything. The screen faded to black, leaving a single, echoing question: what just moved in the void? To comprehend what had just unfolded, the voiceover kicked in. With quiet urgency, Webb had zoomed into the depths of space and found something moving. The musical score swelled in haunting minor chords, enhancing the sense of an unfolding mystery. The silhouette lingered. No flares, no pixelation, just a strange, human-like posture, both captivating and disconcerting. It offered no easy answer. Was it alive, a machine, a hoax? The unsettling part was not knowing. This section of space wasn't expected to harbor movement, let alone form. To make sense of it, we need to understand why the Webb telescope was focused on this region in the first place. That context would frame how something so out of place could be caught in such high detail. The Webb telescope's deep field images are typically composed of layered exposures taken over multiple nights. These are stitched together to create extremely detailed visualizations of the early universe, revealing how galaxies formed, how structures evolved, and how the vast cosmic web was shaped. Programs like CEERS and CosmosWeb use multi-light filters to build these mosaics. Every object that moves, be it a star, a satellite, or a cosmic particle, is flagged as transient. And that's why the silhouette stood out. JWST wasn't scanning for life. It was simply sensitive enough to catch anything that shifted during the layering process. Engineers noticed it, a faint blur, subtle motion. It wasn't cosmic dust or optical noise. It had purpose. Frame after frame, night after night, the object retained its form. It didn't blur or break apart. Its silhouette, head, torso, limbs remained intact. Tracking overlays revealed movement in measurable pixel increments. Engineers noted it wasn't an anomaly. It was too smooth, too consistent. It wasn't floating, it was gliding. As one analyst observed, that's not drifting, that's walking. With this, the mission took a narrative turn. The routine became revelation. Something had entered the frame uninvited. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. The silhouette demanded answers. Was it accidental? Or had it appeared with awareness? Was it watching us back? To truly grasp the gravity of this anomaly, scientists had to zoom out, literally and metaphorically. Webb was studying early galactic formation. What it found, however, was something smaller, closer, and profoundly unexpected. Upon closer inspection, the shape was unmistakable, a humanoid form. Enhancing the images with edge detection algorithms and contrast tools revealed a clear figure. A head, shoulders, arms that hung down, legs apart in a stance. It hovered in space, semi-translucent, with stars still visible through its frame. Yet it didn't dissolve or distort, it kept its posture. It remained stable, suggesting structure, possibly even intent. An engineer noted quietly, "This is too ordered to be accidental." Over a 2-day observation period, the object moved horizontally, traversing a few arcseconds of sky. The drift was smooth, unhurried, not chaotic like debris. It moved as though guided, walking silently across the stars. Was it alive, a drone, a specter of technology or biology? Its transparency raised even more unsettling questions. The stars behind it weren't blocked, instead, they shone through its outline. It didn't interact with the background, it existed within it like a projection or an interface. But it moved, and motion implies presence. It suggested something mimicking life, or perhaps life in a form we don't yet understand. To confirm the movement, scientists measured the object's displacement against fixed stars. Using astrometric methods, they logged minute shifts measured in milliseconds. If the figure were nearby within the solar system, its velocity translated to a walking pace. If it were distant, the implied speed would be immense. Either way, the path was linear, no gravitational pull altered its trajectory. No spiral, no decay, just a steady glide through the void. Such movement defied the random chaos of space. It was intentional. Engineers ran simulations to estimate its speed across various distance models. If it was close, it walked. If it was far, it drifted across light years. Both scenarios were startling. In closed-door discussions, a quiet phrase circulated, "Something is out there, and it's moving like this." They rechecked every system: lenses, sensors, feedback systems. No errors. The tracking data held. This wasn't illusion, it was motion. And motion suggested agency. Next came the silhouette analysis. What exactly was its form? Analysts sharpened the frames. The figure maintained symmetry. Its arms remained at its sides, legs apart. It was stable and like random noise. Light passed through it, but it retained a clear outline. It wasn't pixelated or fractured. It didn't flicker or split into ghost images. No similar shapes were found in adjacent frames, no satellites, no junk. Just one figure, alone and persistent. The implications began to turn. What if it was real, not just a curiosity, but a presence? Something with intention, something watching. Scientists had to ask, could it be alive? A machine or something outside either category? Alternative theories emerged. Experts worldwide joined the debate. Teams reanalyzed JWST's calibration data. They checked for lens flare, internal reflections, sensor glitches. But no known artifact could create that shape. Cosmic debris ruled out. It didn't reflect or tumble. Meteor trails, those streak. This silhouette drifted calmly. Even cosmic ray hits, brief and sharp, didn't match. Nothing matched. Experts ran controlled tests, simulating all known errors. Nothing reproduced a humanoid form. The next step, expert consultation. A digital roundtable of planetary scientists, optical physicists, astrobiologists, and image analysts was formed. Each brought skepticism, but no one dismissed the data outright. One planetary scientist admitted, if this object was in system, it was walking. If interstellar, its scale was unimaginable. An optical physicist noted, this wasn't an artifact. It held up across software versions and didn't behave like internal ghosting. An astrobiologist whispered what no one wanted to say. If it's real, this could be life. Or technology, or something both. The silhouette was translucent, stable, and unique. No explanations sufficed. One analyst summed it up. If this is a glitch, it's one we've never seen before. The panel found no consensus-only agreement that this was worth serious scrutiny. The question shifted from "is it real?" to "what does it mean if it is?" and so came the philosophical turn. If this shape was truly out there, what was it? A probe, a being, a construct meant to observe? If it's alive, what kind of life exists in open space, unshielded, invisible? Could it be a mimic, a silent witness, or something hiding in plain view? The idea that we've been observed not from distant planets, but nearby, without knowing forced. A reevaluation of our place in the cosmos. The silhouette sparked intense public interest. Once it leaked, it spread quickly. Social media lit up Twitter, Reddit, news sites. Headlines speculated about aliens, memes flourished, debates erupted. Some scientists cautioned against jumping to conclusions. Others called for transparency. JWST allocated more observation time. ALMA, VLT, and other telescopes were mobilized. Amateurs pointed their own gear at the coordinates. The search widened. Hubble and Spitze archives were revisited. Still, no precedent. In a final visual sequence, the silhouette reappeared drifting. Slowly, then fading into the cosmic black, a voiceover asked, "Webb turned the lens." But who or what is watching back? The screen cut to black.